Arizona head coach Sean Miller, Pac-12 Coach of the Year in his 5th season with the Wildcats. Arizona has won 5 of its last 6. Wisconsin victories 12 of its last 14 after going through that mid-season slide. And the Wildcats in control. This is Johnson off the head fake. McConnell.
Both teams will play tough man-to-man, Marv, and I think for Wisconsin, if they don't foul, they need to stay out of foul trouble, and Kaminsky gets the early one, which I think could be crucial. Both these clubs pretty thin across the front line, not a lot of depth. Foul trouble could be an issue as Tarczewski posts up.
And the officiating crew, the crew chief is Brian Kersey, working with Tony Green and Mike Eames. Kaminsky got off to a quick start. And he's called for steps.
This is going to be part of the strategy for Sean Miller. He wants to go inside to Tarczewski to establish him early and to force Frank Kaminsky to have to guard. Kaminsky's so dynamic at both ends of the floor. You've got to make him work, especially early in the game, to make him feel you.
As we talked about throughout the game the other day, this one of the best pacing teams in the country. That ball whips around. Kaminsky able to hit on his first attempt, going off the rebound, handles well, and a foul is called. It is against Wisconsin.
Well, I think pace is going to play a big role in this game. Bo Ryan is already upset with the officials, but the pace of Arizona, if they can make stops at one end, you saw already what they want to do. They want to beat this Wisconsin defense down the floor. And Wisconsin, if they can make shots, can keep this game at the moderate pace they prefer.
A foul is called on Johnson. Johnson not able to hit on his first attempt, and the ball is deflected out. Last touch by Arizona. Wisconsin overall 29-7. They won 12-6 in the Big Ten. Streaky season, started out at 16-0, best start in school history, lose 5 of 6, and then win 8 in a row at the end of the regular season.
This is a wonderful passing team. Everybody on the floor, Mark, with the ability to shoot threes, to pass, to put it on the deck, and create for a team of
Johnson right in his face. Shot clock on a 4. Jackson not able to finish up. Tarczewski with the bucket.
That's why Arizona wants to get out in transition. They have much better team speed than Wisconsin. And if they can attack this defense early before they can set up, it's advantage Arizona. And I think the big challenge here for Wisconsin, particularly early, is that this is a fierce Arizona defense. You see the pass from Gordon to Tarczewski. This is a team that attacks you man-to-man. You don't see any zone. And Wisconsin had it so easy against Baylor, just sort of methodically passing the ball around the perimeter and getting anywhere they wanted against the Bears. This is a totally different level of intensity that Wisconsin's going to face.
For three, T.J. McConnell.
Yeah, diving for that loose ball. That eventually led to Nick Johnson's layup, which I think sort of got him off the hook and led to his free throw as well.
There goes glass. I don't think that was the intent. It was a tough angle and was able to back home the 3.
Definitely not his intent. But Decker will take it. He's a capable three-point shooter, not a dominant one.
Pretty move on a spin. Tarczewski, a 7-foot sophomore who's added that turnaround jump to the arsenal.
He averages 10 points a game. He was very disappointed against San Diego State. Got in early foul trouble. Never really found a rhythm. And I think he knows what kind of challenge he's got in his hands here today.
Wide open. Bruss taking the pass from Decker.
That's the problem when you face Wisconsin. There's so much movement, great screening. You just cannot afford any kind of mistake defensively.
Gordon played by Decky here at the start. Johnson, well, he missed his first 10 on Thursday night. Johnson averages 16 a game. That's too high and wide for Kaminsky to handle, so the ball back to Arizona, and we have our first timeout.
Wisconsin traditionally with this man-to-man, what they call the swing offense, a lot of cutting, a lot of back screening, and a beautiful feed to Brust for the lane.
Welcome back to the West Final. Arizona leads Wisconsin 7-5. Last night's earthquake, the strongest to shake California in 6 years, left coaches and players with stories to tell long after this regional is over. Ben Brust said that he and his Wisconsin teammates were watching the Michigan State game when the entire hotel shook. He said they panicked, ran 7 floors down the stairwell, only to have the door to the lobby locked. The Badger traveling party was watching the movie Noah. They thought the special effects were fantastic until the theater was evacuated. And Bo Ryan every day has a song of the day. At this morning's pregame meeting, you guessed it, Carole King. I feel the earth move under my feet. How about you, Mark?
Well, I was watching the game also, and I saw the room kind of swirl around, and I just went through all my basketball charts, took them, and just moved over to another seat.
So focused, man. So impressive.
Wisconsin able to keep it alive, but there were a couple of more tremors earlier today. Shot clock is down to 2, down to 1. Here's Brust. And back comes Johnson of Arizona. Elliott Pitts who hit a 3 on Thursday night. For his only basket of the game, does it right here early.
Both centers now on the bench, Mark, so small lineups out here. I see a foul on Arizona, I believe on Pitts. But here's Pitts, same spot that he hit his shot against San Diego State. And this is Wisconsin's fear. If they get late in the shot clock and have to take a tough shot, their defensive balance is compromised. Now all of a sudden Arizona can get out and run.
Elliott Pitts has just checked in. Got off that three-point shot, as you mentioned. Basically the same area of the floor. So Arizona with a 10-5 lead on Wisconsin. 6 minutes gone by. Pass intended inside and picked off. That'll be 2 shots with foul called on Duquin.
You know, Wisconsin loves to isolate Nigel Hayes, but with Aaron Gordon on him, he's going to have a tough time getting to the basket. So he tries to make a pass to a teammate. And again, late in the shot clock, Wisconsin struggling. Hollis Jefferson now gets 2 free throws.
Well, Coke Zero wants to know, are you a real fan? Hashtag prove it. Visit the Coke Zero social arena in March Madness Live. Rondé Hollis Jefferson, talented freshman. We talked about the other day, has that little shimmy move as he unleashes the free throw.
A la Kevin Durant. And now Arizona goes to its bench. Jordan Mays comes in, a senior. Bronson Koenig in for Wisconsin, and Frank Kaminsky and Tarczewski back at the center position. So both coaches substituting a lot early in this ballgame.
Kaminsky picking up that early foul and was pulled early, also had to travel. Draws the foul. And a lot of whistles here in the early going.
And the matchup I'm really looking at is Tarczewski and Kaminsky. Here's the reach in as Gasser gets to the hole, but it was on Mays, so it's before the shot attempt. But Tarczewski has to be able to guard Kaminsky. Kaminsky can step out and make a 3, but I think Arizona's okay with Kaminsky making a couple of them, because the concern is that he's scoring inside, which would balance out the offense, and that's exactly what happens there as he goes right around the big center for Arizona.
Kaminsky able to get the step. Point guard T.J. McConnell. This is Mays. Knocked out of his hands, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Jordan Mays. It was Wisconsin ball.
Aaron Gordon, Nick Johnson on the bench. Dave York as well. Sure to be quick breathers. I would expect under the 12-minute timeout, they'll probably come right back into the ballgame. But these players, these star players on both teams will get very brief rest. Again, neither club with a lot of depth.
Kaminsky puts the brakes on. This is Decker. Clock to 5. Kaminsky for 3. Yes. He can hit the threes, 37% from beyond that three-point line.
That's what makes this team so tough to guard. You can defend them well for 30 seconds, but everyone on the court can make a three. All it takes is one opening, and they can beat you.
Mays taking a long look, gets the screen. Mays with a runner. Jordan Mays, considered the backup point guard, but he will go with McConnell, as we see right now. Senior out of Los Angeles.
And he's playing well because Wisconsin uses a three-guard lineup.
Now looking for fouls. Mays took a pop. This is Gossett, way off on a three-point attempt. Hicks this time not able to find the range, and again a foul. Foul on Mays, his second.
Well, Frank Kaminsky trying to get his team out of this early hole. The beautiful drive there going right around Caleb Tarczewski. Follows that up with a three, and the Badgers hanging in there early.
Look at the tournament summary. How about the Big Ten? 3 teams in the Elite Eight, Michigan, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. Kentucky makes their 4th Elite Eight appearance the last 5 years, and Florida with the victory earlier in Memphis, defeating Dayton 62-52, 30-game win streak.
Has to feel so good for Billy Donovan coming off of 3 consecutive Elite Eight defeats. But they finally get it done over Dayton.
Decker runs out on a 3, really got caught on the glass. Here's Johnson back on the floor. Kaminsky, he's off to the hot start.
And he can hit that shot, Marv. That little spot up 12, 15-footer. And really nicely set up by Nick Johnson.
He's hit his first 3 attempts. The winner here tonight advances to the Final Four to meet the winner of Michigan and Kentucky. They'll play in Indianapolis tomorrow.
Well, I mentioned the swing offense. That's what Bill Ryan's offense is called. It's because they're constantly swinging the ball through the top like they just did there to put the ball to the other side in order to beat the defense.
Kaminsky able to keep it alive. Trayvon Jackson can't hit. Another offensive board.
It's one of the big concerns for Bill Ryan and his staff coming in. Can they hang in on the glass? We saw what San Diego State did to Arizona the other night on the boards, but Wisconsin is not that kind of rebounding club.
West gets it out. Kaminsky off the fake.
Boy, this defense is quick. Wisconsin needs some penetration.
They continue to recover on the quick passing by Wisconsin. Jackson, strong move. Trayvon Jackson, the junior out of Westerville, Ohio. Son of Jim Jackson, a star at Ohio State, NBA player for 14 years, and now a color analyst in the Big Ten.
Well, one thing we know with Wisconsin, they're not going to get frustrated and impatient with the ball. They lead the league in fewest turnovers, maybe the country fewest turnovers per game, just 8 a night as Nick Johnson gets his first hoop.
And a good sign for Nick Johnson in Arizona. After missing his first 2 shots, he missed his first 10. And today, Kaminsky delayed for a moment, and a rebound, and that is rejected. It's knocked out of bounds. It will be Wisconsin ball.
And that's the length that you have to deal with if you're Kaminsky. But this was Johnson. Beautiful scoop move, just getting the ball to fall. Those were the shots that were not going in the other night. But with that strong finish against San Diego State, you got to feel like Johnson has some confidence here early on.
Josh Gosser back, Ben Brust sitting down. Hollis Jefferson checks back in for the Wildcats.
Kaminsky might be a little tired. Good substitution from Bo Ryan, making sure he doesn't pick up that second foul. And as soon as he goes to the bench, Sean Miller goes to his smaller lineup. Caleb Tarzushi goes to the bench as well.
Oh, nice move. Hayes not able to hit. Gordon, quiet drive, draws the foul. Aaron Gordon will head to the line.
And Bo Ryan says, what about down there? He thought Hayes should have received the same treatment from the referee at the other end on a similar drive as he tried to get past Aaron Gordon.
Hayes called for the foul right here, and Gordon, only a 42% free throw shooter, will have a couple. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Aaron Gordon, freshman out of San Jose, California, averages 12 a game, shoots about 50%. And as we've seen, for a guy who's 6'9", handles the ball exceptionally well.
It's probably the best part of Arizona's offense tonight in this game, or because Wisconsin is so good in its half-court defense. Andre Hollis Jefferson gets called for the foul. Wisconsin's an excellent half-court defensive team, so when Arizona can get the ball to Gordon in transition, he puts so much pressure on that Badger defense that Arizona can free up some shooters and find some open looks.
Ben Brust returns. Bronson Koenig sitting down. 14 fouls on both teams. Pass from Jackson slightly off.
And as usual, Bo Ryan following a turnover immediately goes to his bench. You make a mistake, you come out. And the players know that. They understand the deal. They respond well to Bo Ryan. And sometimes you see a player make a turnover and he doesn't even look. He just runs right to the bench.
Here's McConnell on the pull-up. Rebounded by Brust. Wisconsin in the red, in possession.
Both teams do a lot of switching on the perimeter. There are a lot of defensive versatility and like-sized players for each team.
Brust looking for the shot, not given any room. Tries to do it off the dribble. Spin by Hayes, gets inside and scores. Nigel Hayes, the 6'7" freshman.
Spectacular moves. Gordon had him pinned underneath, but Hayes just took that extra pivot. And foul there on Dukan. With that pivot move underneath, freed up Hayes. Just beautifully done. There's the spin. Looks like he stopped right here and got away with the travel, but Wisconsin will take it.
And on the other end, Gabe York draws the foul. Arizona with a 5-point lead on Wisconsin, just under 8 remaining in this first half. The Wildcat basketball program does not have fond memories of playing here in Anaheim. As you look back as to what has taken place, 1998, they lose to Utah in the Western Regional Final. 2003, lose to Kansas in the Elite Eight. 2011, lose to UConn in the West Regional Final. So let's see what takes place today. Meanwhile, a moment ago, the head coach of Wisconsin, Bo Ryan, was hit with a technical that was just being announced to the crowd. So we'll have 2 free throws for Nick Johnson of Arizona. And as we were headed for break, Gabe York was fouled in the act by B.A. Dukin, so he will go to line and shoot 2.
You know, I was in Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament 2 weeks ago, Marv, and Michigan State got out to an early lead on Bo's team, and he did the same thing. He rode the officials. He got a technical. Obviously, he didn't want to, but I think his fire and his intensity rubs off on his team. And obviously, you don't want to give up all these free points. But I've seen it happen against Oregon in their second NCAA tournament game, too. When he gets going on the refs, it tends to get his club going. And we'll see if the Badgers can respond here.
North is 68% free throw shooter. Arizona now 6 of 8 at the line. Wisconsin yet to attempt a free throw. One of the reasons that Bo was upset. Hayes makes his move. He's fouled by Gordon.
And there you go. I mean, that sometimes is the result of a coach just pleading his case and saying, hey, look, we haven't gotten the benefit of the doubt, and this is a hook. I mean, this is just a right elbow from Hayes. Gordon didn't do anything, and he gets called for the foul.
Before the shot attempt. Kaminsky back to handle that inbounds pass. Arizona by 8. The winner here tonight heads to the Final Four in Dallas. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager from Anaheim. And a traveling violation is called on Gasser.
Wisconsin's looking for its other options more offensively in the offense. They like to invert their guards and their bigs, post up Gasser, which they did there. They also like to post up Hayes. They're searching for an edge here against a quicker Arizona team. But as long as they stick with their game plan, which they always do, Wisconsin will execute and find enough points to hang around and always be in the game.
Fourth turnover for Wisconsin. Wisconsin a low turnover team. Here's Gordon with 3. In fact, they commit the fewest turnovers in Division I. They average about 8 per game. Kaminsky facing up.
Boy, Arizona really closing out on three-point shooting from Gordon.
Rust has not been able to find any room. He has been on fire from downtown. Here's McConnell with a deep 3. Kept alive. Gordon. Oh! Kaminsky rebounds for Wisconsin. Jackson pushes it.
Huge part of this game plan today for Arizona, Mark, running these Wisconsin shooters off the three-point line, but also maintaining the rim protection defensively.
Oh, what a move. Nigel Hayes with a head fake and able to scoop it home.
Aaron Gordon wary of picking up his second foul, so he loses his aggressiveness defensively, and Hayes goes right at him. He is just a beast down here in the paint.
Better than 18,000 sellout crowd here in Anaheim as we take a look at our first half summary. Wisconsin 7 of 19 from the field. No free throws to this point. Arizona 7 of 16, and they are 6 of 8 at the line.
And the rebounding edge goes to Wisconsin. Kind of an interesting note. Arizona has been out-rebounded in all 3 of its tournament games to this point, which is shocking. A club that had a +8 edge on the boards on average during the regular season.
Arizona has led all the way. They've led by as many as 8. Just under 6 remaining in this first half. Kaminsky hit a 3 earlier. Arizona giving no room from three-point range. Jackson, shot clock to 6. Jackson fires and hits Trayvon Jackson. That's his second field goal.
Tough shot. And Jackson was quiet against Baylor, but spectacular in Wisconsin's opening 2 games of this tournament. And he's off to a strong start here today.
Elliott Pitts back on the floor for Arizona. Nice move. Caleb Tarzewski is off to an excellent start. He has 8 points.
You don't often see him go to that left hand, Marv. He's more of a right hand jump hook player. Kaminsky took that away. He got it anyway. Got to his left hand anyway.
Gosser not able to hit on the drive. Here comes Johnson. By Gosser. Pulls it up. Rebounded by Decker for Wisconsin. Kaminsky working on Tarzewski. hesitation dribble behind the back to Kaminsky for 3. Now they say it's a 2. Had a foot on the line.
Great defense, even better offense. Wisconsin just showing that patience, working the ball, and just finding a good look.
Oh, Johnson goes glass. Nick Johnson, the junior, out of Gilbert, Arizona, the Pac-12 Player of the Year. That's 6 points here for Johnson.
Arizona has been able to get into the paint, both in transition and in the half court. Koenig is going to be fouled by Pitts here. But good sign for the Wildcats that they're getting inside the lane. Although Wisconsin is forcing some difficult shots.
Just under 4 to go in this first half. Arizona by 6.
It'd be special. I mean, to be the senior class to help get him to the Final Four, and it'd be special for me, special for him, special for this team, and it would all come full circle. And I know we're looking forward to playing a great Arizona team. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a battle. But this is why we play, and this is what March is all about. If you want it, you got to go get it.
Steve, this would be the first Final Four for both Bo Ryan or Sean Miller.
You figure Sean Miller's going to have more chances, much younger. But both these clubs, I think, are so worthy of playing in a Final Four. Two of the best teams in the country this year, no doubt.
Hayes from the outside, looked like a bump to the head.
Kaminsky and Tarczewski back to the bench. So we go to this smaller game now. Decker on Gordon without the protection of Frank Kaminsky behind him, Mark. See if he can take advantage, maybe with a putback or a move inside.
But Aaron Gordon scores to this point. Does have 7 rebounds, 2 blocked shots. And the foul is called. See Bo Ryan complaining he has to be careful, already hit with a technical earlier this first half. Koenig on the foul. Coming up on AT&T at the half, it's Greg, Clark, Kenny, and Charles. First half analysis, and they'll talk about Florida being the first team to make this year's Final Four. All coming up on AT&T at the half. University of Florida knocking off the Flyers of Dayton earlier in Memphis.
Well, we always talk about the importance of closing out halves, and I think this is a critical 3-minute stretch here for Wisconsin. Down 8. They haven't achieved what they wanted to in terms of getting Arizona in foul trouble. They haven't been able to get their 3-point game going. But if they can just close with a couple of hoops, a couple stops, make it a 4-point game going into the break, they've got to feel like they're in great shape.
As you see, both teams in the bonus, just under 3 left in the first half. Wildcats of Arizona now up by 8. Really a look, but Bruss rims out, kept alive by Hayes.
Arizona has switched Tarczewski on to Nigel Hayes, and Aaron Gordon now guarding Kaminsky. So a totally different look for Arizona defensively here. Let's see how the Badgers respond.
It's faked by Decker off the drive, and he gets the shoulder, so he is fouled. And heads to the line. Sam Decker, 6'7" sophomore, averages just under 13 a game. Hollis Jefferson picks up the call.
That's his second, Marvin. So Gabe York, he was getting set to check in, but Sean Miller changes his mind now. And it looks like he's going to keep Hollis Jefferson out there.
Decker, a 66% free throw shooter. Get the most complete coverage of the team that you love. Updates on the tournament's best moments with the Team Stream app from Bleacher Report. Go deeper with Team Stream on your iPad, iPhone, or Android device.
Just the first 2 free throws of the game for Wisconsin. More important points, but also Wisconsin gets to set up its defense going on the half court. And that's critical because Arizona can struggle to score, as we talked about.
Wisconsin quickly to the front court. Decker. Jackson sets up. Has Kaminsky. See all the touches. Not as smooth as what took place the other day, though.
Well, a lot tougher defense that they're going against. Kaminsky gets right around Tarczewski and picks up the foul. Arizona crowd doesn't like it, but I thought it was the right call. Mark Kaminsky had position and got a little bit of a bump, but it was just enough to throw off the shot. Let's take a look here. Kaminsky's so talented.
Great footwork.
Great footwork, and you see there, Czarszewski needs to keep his hands straight up. They're just a little bit over the top, and that was the right call.
Kaminsky, a 77% free throw shooter. 8 points, 5 rebounds for Frank Kaminsky. And there's no question that this is an Arizona crowd. It is a sellout. Once again, that was the case Thursday with San Diego State playing Arizona. I would give the edge in terms of, not that I counted it up, but it seemed to be more people from the San Diego area.
They were wearing black shirts, so it was kind of easy to count up. And I thought it was about 2/3 Aztecs.
Connell passed on the shot. Czarszewski. And let's see what the call is. It is against Wisconsin.
It's against Kaminsky on the block. The Wisconsin fans can't believe it. That's the second. Let's take a look. That's one that could go either way. And if you're an Arizona fan, you're saying that's an easy call. If you're a Wisconsin fan, you're saying that's a terrible call.
So 1-1 for Caleb Czarszewski, who is a true free throw shooter, just 63 at the line last season, 76 this year, but unable to hit. Minute and a half left in this first half. Jackson lost the dribble, then recovered.
Anytime there's a loose ball or an offensive rebound, you'll see Arizona's defenders scrambling to find these three-point shooters. Well, such a big part of this game plan. You just can't give them any free looks.
Kaminsky sat down after picking up that second foul, so Czarszewski defending now on Hayes. Jackson. Trayvon Jackson with 6 points.
Well, this, other than the Kaminsky foul, this has gone according to plan here the last couple of minutes. The lead has been cut from 8 down to 3, and now the Badger faithful making their presence felt.
Final minute, first half. McConnell working off the screen. Rebounded by Decker of Wisconsin. And a timeout is taken. O'Ryan calls for time. 31 seconds to play here in the first half, and it's a 3-point Arizona lead.
Back in Anaheim, this is what we expected, a defensive battle, and you see one of the reasons why. Arizona 5th in the country in terms of opponents' points per game. They're actually number 1, Marv, in points allowed per possession, which adjusts for pace, of course. So Sean Miller's team, extremely well coached and disciplined and athletic. Really tough to score on them. Wisconsin, equally as well coached and maybe not as athletic, but a terrific defense. Very similar style defense. We call it the pack line, kind of the Tony Bennett style defense that Virginia plays. Not a lot of gambling on the perimeter. They're cutting off penetration everywhere.
And opponents shoot only 38% against Arizona. Wisconsin working that clock down. It's about 0.4 of a second differential as this first half comes to a close. Pass for Kaminsky. Pops it back out. Kaminsky. Decker had an opportunity, and time has run out in this first half. Here in Anaheim, the Wildcats of Arizona with a 28-25 lead on the Badgers of Wisconsin. Wisconsin ending the half with 5 straight points over the last 2.5 minutes. The winner will advance to the Final Four to meet the winner of Michigan and Kentucky. They play in Indianapolis tomorrow. Let's go over to Craig Sager.
Well, Coach, your defense has been great all season, but here tonight in this first half, how have you been able to hold Wisconsin 25 points and only 2 threes?
We're a great defensive team. We've been that way from the opening day to right now. In the second half, will really come down to that. Can we maintain our excellence, because the team we're playing against is equally good on offense? I mean, your margin for error, some of the baskets, the fact that they got 25. To me, I felt like they've earned all 25. But they're an excellent offensive team. If we break down and we drop our level, we're not going to be there. We have to just keep doing what we did the first half, Craig.
All right, thank you very much. Back to you, Myron.
All right, thank you, Craig. He was a point guard at Pitt, Sean Miller, in his 5th season as head coach of Arizona. This the best Arizona team he's had in his tenure. At the end of the half, it's Arizona over Wisconsin by 3. Right here, we'll send you to AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. The winner here tonight heads to the Final Four. We welcome you back to Anaheim, California. Arizona has a 3-point lead as we head to the second half. Arizona's led by as many as 8. They have led all the way. Wisconsin, usually an excellent 3-point shooting team, but Arizona to this point has closed it down.
Huge part of the game plan, Marv. Arizona closing out on shooters and using its athleticism to make sure Wisconsin doesn't get any looks. Look at every Arizona player now close out, hands high, forcing perimeter passes. Again, everybody hands up. Finally, the penetration, the late switch, but you got to deal with the length of Tarczewski. Jackson can't make it. And meanwhile, Wisconsin are doing an excellent job in its own right defensively. Both clubs just trying anything to get it over the look, and it's been awfully difficult here this evening.
Wisconsin in the red. Possession. Kaminsky up top. Met immediately by Tarczewski. Now Kaminsky had some space and picked up a switch by Gordon. Decker. Gordon leading away, did not want to pick up the foul. They continue to do the job on closing down the 3. Gordon backing his way on Decker. The tip missed. On the back tap, able to handle Tarczewski at the hook.
Arizona's been in the paint an awful lot, Mark, but they haven't been able to get anything going. Wisconsin's defense has been tough. Arizona's charge, I think, here in the second half is to continue to penetrate and eventually allow their athleticism, particularly Gordon and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, to take over.
Wisconsin 10 of 28, 36% for the field. Kaminsky flips one up beautifully, keeping it away from the 7-footer Tarczewski.
It was the position that he got before the pass came, that really was the key to that play. Beautiful play.
And another nice move, this time Nick Johnson. He had missed his first 10 from the field the other day against San Diego State. Then came on strong, particularly from the foul line with a number of clutch shots. Foul was called on McConnell. Look at the halftime statistics. I mentioned Wisconsin 10 of 28, Arizona 9 for 23. You see the differential in terms of free throws and rebounding.
8 offensive boards for Wisconsin, but they were only able to get 4 second chance points, Mark. But the key, though, with all those offensive boards, they were able to keep Arizona from getting out and running. So the tempo and the pace, I think, has been pretty much where Wisconsin wants it.
Kaminsky working on Gordon and working hard. What a move. He now has 12 points. He's 5 for 9 from the field. Gordon trying to stay away from the second foul.
Gordon on him with Hayes coming into the game. Sean Miller likes to put Tarczewski now on Hayes and Gordon over on the bigger Kaminsky.
And off the turnover. Packers back in possession. Gossett, Kaminsky for 3. And that time had some room. This is York moving it. Johnson open for 3.
Finally an open look, but in a game like this, when you're getting open, when it's almost like you're so worried about it, foul on TJ McConnell, but you're so excited to finally get an open look, but you feel like, boy, I have to make this one. Here's Kaminsky going right through Aaron Gordon. Terrific move.
I've never had that feeling, Steve. Trayvon Jackson, a 77% free throw shooter, averages 11 a game, leads the team in assists.
He's been really good here tonight, Mark, because every time the offense breaks down for Wisconsin, which has been often, he's the one who's been able, on a few occasions, to break down the defense.
Hayes off the steal. Jackson pulls it up. Trying to draw the foul, and now there was contact made. Nick Johnson took a shot to the jaw.
Lucky he didn't lose the ball out of bounds. That thing hit his foot.
Wow, York made his move. An offensive foul is called on McConnell.
And that's 3 fouls in 3 minutes for McConnell. This is a huge play. Johnson did get hit in the face. I think the officials just felt like it didn't affect the play. So he wasn't going to call it. You may not have seen it, but this is big, Marv. T.J. McConnell, the heart and soul of this Arizona team, with 3 fouls now.
3 consecutive turnovers by Arizona. They had just 2 in the first half. Watson Keenan checked back in for the Badgers. This is Keenan. Played by Hollis Jefferson. Hayes got the step. And by the 7-footer had nowhere to go. Krzyzewski shielding that shot. Hollis Jefferson spinning. Fire the ball up and in. Oh, what a move. Runday Hollis Jefferson.
Well, that's the first basket for either Gordon or Hollis Jefferson. Normally, such a big part of this offense, the explosiveness of those 2 athletes for Arizona. Well, that's one of the reasons Wisconsin has been able to shut down this Arizona team tonight.
It's a 3-point Arizona lead. Kaminsky for 3. 15 points for Frank Kaminsky. That's his 2nd from downtown, and you can hear the Wisconsin portion of this crowd as the game is tied.
And an offensive foul now on Gabe York on an illegal backscreen ball. This Wisconsin crowd is just going crazy. Here was a spectacular scoop from Rondae Hollis Jefferson. But what do you do with Frank Kaminsky? Arizona trying desperately to keep him away from the hoop, which they've done pretty well, but he can step out there and knock it down.
The Pac-10 Freshman of the Year, Aaron Gordon, coming off the 15.6 rebound game against San Diego State. 0 for 6 from the field, has only 1 point.
He does have 11 boards, Mark, but Wisconsin has bottled him up because they've been able to keep this game at a slow pace. Gordon normally effective in transition. Everything has come in the half court for him.
Wisconsin in possession. The game is tied for the first time. Arizona has led all the way. They've led by as many as 8. 4.5 in second half.
Wisconsin trying to isolate Hayes on Krzyzewski. They've been unable to work that matchup to this point.
Taylor able to drill it. Bronson Kalen, a 6'3" freshman, with his first field goal.
And Wisconsin now with a bounce to its step. First lead of the game, and you can see it defensively. They've got a confidence that wasn't there earlier in this game.
Johnson with a foul, he'll go to the line. A 9-2 run by the Badgers. Follow the games anywhere with NCAA March Madness Live. Download the app for your Amazon, Kindle, iPhone, iPad, or Android device by visiting ncaa.com/MarchMadness. Nick Johnson, a 78% free throw shooter. Hit his previous 2.
And he made 10 in a row the other night to close that San Diego State game. A rare instance where Arizona actually won a game with its free throw shooting. Normally, very poor foul shooting team, about 66%.
He had recovered after the bad start with an amazing 15 points in the final 2 minutes and 40 seconds. As you mentioned, 10 of 10 at the line. Did it in the final 90 seconds. Kaminsky. What a shot. Had a little reverse on it, went high off glass.
He is so skilled and so strong. And now Sean Miller sensing that this is slipping away from his team a little bit. All the momentum now is in Wisconsin's favor. He's trying to collect his team and get them going again.
17 for Kaminsky, 4 for 5 from the field in the second half. It is the West Regional Final here on TBS from Anaheim. Winner goes to the Final Four. Right here, the Powerade sideline report. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, both our coaches tonight are from Western Pennsylvania. Bo Ryan from Chester. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Sean Miller, is from Beaver Falls. Although there's over 20 years difference in age, their ties go back to the early 70s. That was a time when Bo Ryan was an assistant in Wisconsin. He put on the round ball for youth. He needed some big-time entertainment. Got Crazy George to show up, and also called and got 9-year-old Sean Miller to put on a display. Sean went out, dribbled basketballs with his knees, spun them with his fingers. According to Coach Ryan, he was unbelievable. They've had a mutual respect ever since.
All right, Craig, nice move there by McConnell, who checked back in despite the 3 personal fouls. Foul is called on Ross. In fact, Sean Miller, with his ball handling skills, appeared on the Tonight Show. Johnny Carson was in the Colt favorite, the fish that saved Pittsburgh. Should also be pointed out, being from Beaver Falls, perhaps the second best known sports figure behind Joe Williams.
That's right.
I put Sean's brother Archie, head coach at Dayton, and maybe one-time Chet head coach and giant tight end Joe Walt in the conversation, but Joe was clearly number 1.
I'm sure Sean will be thrilled to hear he's number 4 on Marv Albert's
No, number
list.
2. No, I had him second.
Oh, okay, you did have 2. All right.
Archie was in the
Archie was in the conversation.
And we'll be delighted to be in that conversation. Wisconsin with a 38-36 lead, 6 minutes gone by in the second half.
Arizona has to rely on its defense, just like the other night against San Diego State. When the going got tough for them, they made stops. They got to get rebounds too when they get those stops.
Decker had the opportunity, but could not slap it home.
But this is what happens with transition. They get early opportunities. McConnell can't make it there, but they've got to get some early offense. Otherwise, Hollis Jefferson and Gordon in particular will just remain bottled up.
Koenig, handoff. They're able to get it back. Now they reset.
Wow. It's Sean Miller just furious at Rondé Hollis Jefferson because Jefferson just did not get out enough on the three-point shooter. He thought he was there, but obviously he wasn't. Painting with a huge shot.
From downtown. 5 points for Koenig off the bench. Gordon does not get the roll. Rebounded by Decker of Wisconsin.
This is like that game that Johnson had the other night of Gordon now struggling and the rolls aren't going his way.
Jackson. Koenig. A little more respect being shown for Koenig. Kaminsky. Kaminsky on a split. And it's hauled down by Karczewski of Arizona.
The Wisconsin crowd was just ready to explode on that one, Mark.
Three-pointer, yes, McConnell from downtown. The Wisconsin lead is now 2.
And that gets the Wildcat faithful up. Well, they've been awfully quiet, but you can hear them now urging on their squad.
That stop for 14-4. That's a run. Gordon pops it down. McConnell on the open floor. Johnson on the drive. Johnson with the runaway off, and it's put home by Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
And there's the pace that Arizona has been desperately trying to get. Bo Ryan's going to get a timeout. He feels it too. But Arizona, playing off of its defense now, has gotten into this game. Defense into offense. Look how wide open McConnell is, because Wisconsin unbalanced defensively, and then the follow. Arizona using its athleticism, and we got a tie ball game.
Steve, a look at our game summary, and Arizona's picked up at shooting that off a 14-4 run earlier in the second half.
And Frank Kaminsky has just been the story for Wisconsin. Arizona has finally sort of broken free a little bit here. Gordon goes to the bench. I think he's exhausted. Will Arizona go inside to Tarczewski? He's got Hayes on him. It's an interesting matchup that we haven't really seen at the offensive end for Arizona.
Pass from McConnell thrown on the bounce, but it leads to the reach-in down low. It is on Hayes, his second.
Mark, think about what this game means. Both coaches desperately wanting to get to the Final Four, but more than anything, you lose in the Elite Eight. You're just another team that made a nice run in the tournament. You win. You're part of history. You're hanging a banner in your arena. You're going to reunions the rest of your life.
That's what it's all about.
It's a big deal.
Off the steal. Rust has been very quiet offensively. Came up with the steal.
Let's see if Wisconsin tries to go to this Hayes-Tarczewski matchup itself. Remember, here's Hollis Jefferson picking up a foul, but without Gordon on the floor for weak side help, I think Hayes can get around Tarczewski and maybe get to the rim.
That was number 3 on Hollis Jefferson. So it's all about the reunions,
all
the
about
dinners.
Yes. Not to mention
selfies.
Oh, you maybe.
Halfway through this second half. Hayes gets inside. And the angle. And then it's deflected out. Last touch by Tarczewski of Arizona.
Aaron Gordon is quickly going to return. Sean Miller saw this matchup. Hayes got right to the rim where he needed to go. And I think the right call there looked like it went off of Tarczewski, but he'll come out. I think Miller prefers this matchup with Hayes having Gordon on it.
Gordon still looking for his first field goal. 0%.
But he affects the game in so many ways. He's not somebody who relies on his shooting for his confidence.
That's 13 rebounds. He's backing. He's checked it. That's one of the ways he does affect the game. The block by Gordon. Here comes McConnell. Trying to lead it at very low percentage in terms of making that pass.
And what a break for Arizona. A kick ball on Wisconsin. This is what led to the potential transition. Great block from Gordon.
Short rest for Kaminsky. Comes on for Hayes. Frank Kaminsky with another terrific game the other night. 8 of 11, 19 points, career high, 6 blocked shots thus far today. 17 points, 6 rebounds.
And he's had the whole game going, Mark. 2 threes and also 5 other field goals in the paint. Arizona just has had no answer. And I think the refs are looking at the shot clock, or if, whether that should be adjusted or not, whether there was a change in possession, and they decided that there was not, so it'll remain at 28.
Arizona in possession, is tied.
Great defense by Trayvon Jackson, staying in front of Nick Johnson.
Johnson for 3. Nick Johnson, who shoots 37% from downtown, hitting his shot here today. 12 points for Johnson, and an offensive foul has been called.
Ben Brust, Marv, was trying to cut off that weak side screen. TJ McConnell battling him. This would have been a fourth foul on McConnell, but first we're going to see the big three-pointer from Nick Johnson. But there you see the reaction from McConnell after drawing the offensive foul from Brust.
8-0 run here by the Wildcats. McConnell gets it down low. Kaminsky right up on Tarczewski, who, no, it's deflected out. Last touch by Kaminsky.
And Bo Ryan can't believe it. From here, it looked like Tarczewski just dribbled it right out of bounds, man, off of his own foot. So a break for the Wildcats.
Johnson inbound. McConnell coming off the pick. Kaminsky on the rebound.
It was a set play looking for McConnell. Remember, he made that 3 a moment ago. Sean Miller thinking maybe he's feeling confident with that shot. That went right on line, just a little short.
just under 8.5 remaining second half. Arizona back on top, 3-point lead. Gosser gets inside, and he is hacked. Foul to the act.
Let's take a look at the play. Tarczewski looks like it hits his knee right there, goes right out. Yeah, that was just a blown call. Fortunately for Bo Ryan and his team, Arizona did not convert after getting the benefit of that call.
York on the foul to put Gosser at the line. There's Hollis Jefferson checking back in. Gosser, the best free throw shooter in the Big Ten at 87% at the line. He's a junior from Milwaukee area.
Terrific defender, Marvin. And he's been matched up with Nick Johnson, the Pac-12 Player of the Year. And he's done a terrific job on him. Johnson finally got that three a moment ago, but Gosser has stayed in front of him much of the night.
Arizona with the ball up by 1, and the foul is called on Gosser.
That will be, I believe, number 3 on Josh Gosser. So some foul trouble starting to creep in here. Mark Brust and Gosser, 3 apiece. 3 also for T.J. McConnell and Hollis Jefferson.
Team foul number 5 on Wisconsin. Arizona has 6.
And with Gosser going to the bench, Marv, a small backcourt, 3-guard lineup for Wisconsin. And Rondé Hollis Jefferson being guarded by Trayvon Jackson. If he can get on the offensive glass, he has a major edge with his length.
And back in for Wisconsin. High dribble by Gordon. What is it? Intended for Hollis Jefferson. It's deflected out of bounds. No indication as to who touched it last, but a timeout is taken. The Wildcats of Arizona by 1 over the Badgers of Wisconsin. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Anaheim. We're early on second half. Wisconsin able to take the lead. Terrific effort by the Badgers, but Arizona seems to settle down, and they are now in the midst of an 8-2 run.
Well, they're doing it with their defense, Marv, and I think the question here from here on out is, can they get a couple of transition hoops? There's a foul on Wisconsin, but can Arizona get out and run, push the break, and maybe get a hoop or two? Because at the other end, Wisconsin has the most dangerous player offensively on the floor in Frank Kaminsky.
Foul was committed by Trayvon Jackson, just his first. Hollis Jefferson puts it in play. 7:45 remaining. Second half. Winner goes to the Final Four. Hollis Jefferson. And Tarczewski cannot follow. Wisconsin back in possession.
They went for the post up with Hollis Jefferson, just a smaller defender, and it led to that potential putback. Tarczewski just could not put it home.
Kaminsky backs his way. Johnson off the screen, pops.
Trayvon Jackson, that's kind of the safety valve for Wisconsin. Late in the shot clock, they like that high screen and roll for him. He's able to get that shot off because of his quickness and his ball handling ability. Kind of lulls you to sleep and rises up. Just couldn't knock that one down.
Here's Johnson. Nick Johnson with 14 points.
Starting to pick it up here in the second half. Wisconsin has to deal with the athleticism of Gordon and Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Seems like Nick Johnson is just kind of finding some gaps here in this game finally.
Kaminsky wide open for Gordon. Kaminsky on the follow. Gets the break shot. Rejected by Hollis Jefferson. Here comes Gordon. What a move, but could not convert. And off the scramble, here come the Badgers. Ball's knocked away. Nice play defensively to stop the break as Trayvon Jackson had it knocked aside.
Mark, the level of effort and intensity in this game is just spectacular. The crowd wanted to goaltend, the Wisconsin crowd, but I don't think the ball was ever going to get to the rim. Look at the effort from T.J. McConnell. U of A crowd getting into it. The Wisconsin crowd just trying to urge their team on. It's outnumbered completely, but I am just blown away by the intensity and the effort defensively of both teams. Phenomenal to watch.
McConnell came up with that huge steal in the final minutes the other night, leading to the The first field goal by Nick Johnson. He is all hustle. 6 minutes to play. And Arizona up by 3. Kaminsky off the fake. Basketball count foul before the shot attempt. It is called on Tarczewski.
And I think that's the matchup they're going to look to, Marv, because Kaminsky has made 2 threes. He's much quicker than Tarczewski. You see him grab the arm. But because he's made the threes, Tarczewski is really nervous about giving up that look. And now on the foul, he'll shoot the 1-and-1.
He's a 77% free throw shooter, 2 of 3 at the line. Tarczewski picked up a second foul. Another outstanding game for the junior from Lisle, Illinois, Frank Kaminsky. The Arizona lead is 1, just under 6 remaining. Second half.
Arizona trying to get the ball into Tarczewski on the block, with good defense from Kaminsky fronting him.
Johnson down the lane, throws it home.
Same move we saw in the first half, Marv, that swoop and the one hand just over the outstretched arm of Frank Kaminsky.
Nick Johnson, the Pac-12 Player of the Year. 10 of his 16 points have been scored in the second half. Wildcats fight through. Here's Decker on a hard driving move. Sam Decker with 7 points.
Tarczewski didn't want to come and help on that screen roll. He's worried about Kaminsky. And Decker beautifully done getting past Aaron Gordon.
Johnson with the pull-up, way off. Handled by Decker. Jackson to the front court. That'll lose Johnson on his screen. Kaminsky for the step back 3 by Kaminsky. He has 22 points, his 3rd from downtown, and a timeout is called. It is Wisconsin in front.
Marv, Arizona's going to take Tarczewski out of the game. Kaminsky now with 3 threes in this game. Arizona just can't afford any more of those open looks, so they go to a smaller lineup. Aaron Gordon will guard him. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson moves to the 4 spot.
Straight away. Arizona now having its difficulties after that 8-2 run.
Kaminsky got the switch. Nick Johnson on him underneath.
Tom Gosser not able to hit.
Well, Wildcats dodged a bullet. There was a mix-up on the coverage. Gosser had a wide open look.
Johnson working off the pick. Out of 3.5 remaining. Hollis-Jefferson. Another circle shot. He has 8 points.
Arizona struggling to find any kind of hole in the Wisconsin defense. That's all Hollis-Jefferson needs, is just a tiny little crease to get that shot. Just a spectacular finish.
The game is tied at 50. Decker has been flying, got tripped up.
Now the switch, Kaminsky with the smaller Johnson on him.
Decker. Kaminsky gets it inside. Here's Thrust. Missed the layup, and it's tipped home. Josh Gosser with the tip.
And this is the problem. Once you start having to double, you lose your integrity on the weak side in terms of rebounding and rotations.
Josh Jefferson very fortunate to handle that pass down in just a moment. What a reverse. And that the first field goal for Gordon.
Well, this is the matchup at the other end now. Kaminsky has to guard the quicker Aaron Gordon.
Game tied at 52 as we approach 2 minutes remaining.
What an incredible game we're witnessing here tonight.
Winner goes to the Final Four. A series of moves by Jackson. Ball deflected out.
And Mark, this is big. Arizona ball, but we're under 2 minutes now, so the officials can go look at it. And they'll do that. They're going to go check it out to see if they were right on this call. But this was Rondé Hollis-Jefferson's second time we've seen that move from him, somehow spinning the ball off the glass. Back in Anaheim, we had a loose ball a moment ago. It was awarded to Arizona. Here's the replay. The last second, you'll see Josh Gosser's hand right there. He's the last one to touch it. Arizona will retain possession.
And a quick ruling on the replay.
Now, we've got this matchup again at both ends, Marv. Gordon and Kaminsky. I would look for Arizona to try to create some space for Gordon, if he can, to go around Kaminsky at some point in the possession.
The game is tied at 52. Here is York. And the long rebound is handled by Jackson for Wisconsin.
Boy, nice play drawn up by Sean Miller. Wide open look. But York has not made a field goal tonight. Just couldn't get that to go. And now where does Wisconsin go? You've got to go into your big guy who's dominated this game.
Kaminsky at the high post, guarded by Gordon. Jackson, clock, out of 5. Hits. Trayvon Jackson with a big bucket to give Wisconsin a 2-point lead.
With the right hand, the offhand, and remember with Tarczewski on the bench, and Gordon occupied with Kaminsky, there's no weak side shot blocking, and Trayvon Jackson recognizes the opening and takes advantage.
Trayvon Jackson, a player who says he loves the big moment, and he's hit a number of huge shots during the course of his career. Wisconsin has taken a 54-52 lead. You see timeouts remaining.
And if you're Wisconsin, Marv, if Gordon gets the ball, you may foul him. You know about his free throw struggles. I think Nick Johnson has to touch the ball here, though. He's the best player, Pac-12 player of the year, and he's got Gosser all over.
Both teams in the bonus. Shot clock is down to 5. Johnson. And it's put home. Hollis-Jefferson handling that air ball as Johnson was well covered, and the game is tied.
That shot was so off that it really caused problems for Wisconsin on the boards, but Hollis-Jefferson, this is his game, Mark. He just cleans things up. A spectacular finish. Great defense from Gosser, but Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, as usual, making that quick first step into the paint, beating everybody else to the ball.
Down to 30.9 remaining.
Wisconsin clearly is going to go for the last shot. I mean, that's the obvious move here. The question is, can you get it in good position to score to close out this game? Wisconsin with 2 timeouts left, Arizona with 1. You want Kaminsky to touch the ball at least. And Gordon will be all over him. Jordan Mays enters the game for Arizona. He replaces Gabe York. Mays, a senior, the better defender, the bigger defender. He handles Josh Gosser. Well, I look for Trayvon Jackson and Kaminsky at the end of the shot clock on a high screen.
Kaminsky played by Gordon at the foul line. Jackson lays the clock down. 10 seconds left.
There's the switch. Kaminsky has Johnson on him.
The pullback. O'Connell, the time runs out, and we're headed to overtime.
Now you said it, Trayvon Jackson has hit a number of game winners in his career, and he created enough space for himself on Aaron Gordon. Look at this, a good look. Gordon does a nice job challenging, and just short And Jefferson does a nice job cleaning up the rebounds, and this is fitting, Marv, an extra 5 minutes.
It is on to overtime here. And Anaheim, the winner, advances to the Final Four to go up against the winner between Michigan and Kentucky, who will play tomorrow night in Indianapolis. Arizona involved in one overtime, a double overtime loss at Arizona State back in February. Wisconsin without any overtimes this season. Not that overtime records play into anything. We stated as facts, Steve.
Well, thank you for that. Is it lightning?
Factoid for you. Yes. Game tied at 54. Off the turnover. And comes McConnell.
McConnell had an open look, but has not shot the ball well here in the second half. He's 2 for 8 on the night. Normally you'd see him take that little pull-up.
And McConnell, the ball handlers. McConnell patched up 3. Puts it back down. Johnson is off. Rebounded by Decker.
McConnell passed up another one. I think he's got to continue to be aggressive, because if he gets a good shot, Arizona is a great offensive rebounding team. If the play is in rhythm, your rebounders will be in good position.
Russ not getting any room throughout the game. Kaminsky backs his way. They swing it. Oh, no! Russ knocks down a 3.
It's a result of the double team, Marv. Wisconsin finally got what it wanted with Kaminsky on the block. And the patience of this Badger offense pays off there.
First 3 of the game from Russ. Here's a 3 attempt by Wolf. Yes! How about that?
Are you kidding?
1 for his previous 9, and then connects from downtown. Game is tied at 57. Kaminsky able to take advantage.
He got the switch again, Marvin. Arizona now having all kinds of trouble with Frank Kaminsky. Once that switch is made, and Wisconsin doing a good job getting in the ball in the right spot.
McConnell on a fade. Kaminsky trying to tip it, but not. Gordon put it down.
That's why T.J. McConnell has to shoot, Marv. Just the best offense for Arizona right now is just going and getting an offensive board, and they're moving Wisconsin around on offense, as Wisconsin is doing to Arizona. Look at that, the double comes, a great pass from Trayvon Jackson, and Ben Brust, who has been quiet, knocks down the 3. This was the follow from Aaron Gordon, and the ball game continues.
Well, here are the last few moments. Aaron Gordon pulling a Nick Johnson. He goes 37 minutes, 1 point, 0 for 8. Over the last 6 minutes, he's hit all 3 of his shots for 7 points, including a 3-pointer.
Well, he got that drive around Kaminsky for the lay-in. The 3, Marv, is surprising, although he's made some this year. Meanwhile, Tarczewski comes back into the ballgame. Sean Miller had enough of that matchup. He wants to get back to that big lineup so he doesn't have to double team and switch.
Game tied at 59, coming up on 2.5 remaining in overtime. Jackson, Kaminsky, Tarczewski out with him. Shot clock to 4. Kaminsky flips it and scores.
Oh my goodness. There was nothing there. Tarczewski played perfect defense. Kaminsky just patiently waited and finally pivoted to the spot he wanted.
26 for Kaminsky. Wisconsin by 2. Johnson off glass. A battle for that loose ball, and Gasser protecting it, but also made contact with Johnson.
Here's the play a moment ago. Perfect defense from Tarczewski. Stays down, doesn't jump on the fake, and then Kaminsky's so skilled, he just knocks in that jump hook. I think the foul was on Nick Johnson, Marvin. I think what the referees are going to look at is whether the elbow from Gasser would be deemed flagrant. Any blow to the head of the college game is going to be reviewed by the officials, and they have to deem whether it was, and I think it's totally inadvertent. Gossard being fouled, just trying to create space for himself and keeps the elbows in tight. I think that's just incidental. I can't imagine anything would be called, but meanwhile, Gossard's going to go to the other end and shoot free throws because of the 1-and-1. And that was a mistake by Nick Johnson. After missing the shot, he needed to just get back defensively. And Arizona just needed to make a stop, which they've done all night. But now instead, potential couple of free throws could put Wisconsin up 4.
Gossard, superb free throw shooter at 87%. Checks the ball. Johnson tried to strip it.
The rule Marvin's put into place for the safety of the players. The officials obviously don't want anybody to get hurt, especially an elbow to the head. Here are the rules: the flagrant 1, excessive contact. Flagrant 2 would be an ejection, severe or extreme contact, but none of that occurred. So I'd be shocked if anything happened here.
So the officiating crew: Brian Kersey, Tony Green, Mike Eads huddling up. And from the indication from the Badgers, it's not a flagrant. Let's see. Over to talk to you, Steve.
Came over and said there was nothing, no reason to call flagrant. Now Gossard steps to the line for an important 1-and-1.
He's 2 of 2 at the line, as we mentioned before. Best free throw shooter in the Big Ten Conference.
One of the strengths of this Wisconsin team, Marv, they can really close out games between Gossard, Rust, Ravon Jackson as well. Excellent foul shooters.
Gossard 1 of 2 at the line. So Wisconsin has a 3-point lead with just under 2 left in this overtime session. Holding foul. Kaminsky had Tarczewski get behind him, so Kaminsky reaching out.
Yeah, great play from Sean Miller, setting that up, and it's the right play from Kaminsky. Tarczewski had a dunk. Instead, now he's got to earn these 2 free throws with the 1-and-1. Remember, he missed his only free throw earlier in the ballgame.
But a 76% free throw shooter, and much improved from a year ago. 7-footer, sophomore out of New Hampshire. Averages 10.6 rebounds. In foul trouble the other night against San Diego State. Not able to stay on the floor. Played about 20 minutes and hits on both.
Interesting move now from Sean Miller. Jordan Mays comes back into the ball game. Remember, Aaron Gordon now slides over to Kaminsky. So Tarczewski got a shot or 2 at Kaminsky, and now Sean Miller feeling like, let's go back to the smaller lineup here.
Mays played earlier back in the first half. 6'3" senior. Minute and a half left in overtime. Wisconsin in possession, up by 1.
I think Arizona's going to switch everything, so I would see Kaminsky get involved in a screen and roll here.
Jackson try to use Kaminsky on the pick. Here's Jackson on the drive. Kaminsky with the follow.
And that's the problem. And that's the dilemma that Sean Miller faces right now. Tarczewski, the bigger defender, but the smaller lineup.
A long teardrop, but it's put home on the follow by Mays. Jordan Mays able to squeeze his way through, and a timeout called. 58 seconds to go in this overtime at a 1-point Wisconsin lead.
Well, after the switch, Ravon Jackson, knowing that Kaminsky is there, just throw it up on the board. Miller understands this is the dilemma he faces. But this is a shock to all Arizona fans. Jordan Mays averaged about 6 minutes per game this year. More of a 3-point shooter, somehow sneaks in for an easy putback.
Look at the free throw shooting as we head down the stretch. Wisconsin, 74% on the season. We've talked about Arizona's difficulties at a shade over 65.
And Marv, I'm guessing Tarczewski comes back into the ballgame here for Sean Miller. You think about what Kaminsky has done to this Arizona defense. He has them not confused. They know what's happening, but they have no answer. Because when Tarczewski's been in there, he's gone around him, he's used his speed, or he stepped out and made a three. And even on really well-defended plays, he scored inside. Here's a couple of threes. Tarczewski can't get out, so you put a smaller defender on him to guard against the three, and now you're vulnerable on the offensive glass. So Tarczewski comes back. Gordon and Hollis Jefferson stay in, and Arizona desperate for a stop right here.
Kaminsky with 28 points, 11 rebounds. Lines up to the right of the free throw line. 45 seconds to play. Wisconsin in possession, up by a point. The clock down. Rebounded by Gordon.
And Sean Miller wants his team to push it before the defense can get set up.
Out of 20 seconds. Arizona with the ball down by one. McConnell watched by Bruss. McConnell shoots. Back top. McConnell on it. Without a 6 seconds. 5, 4. Johnson at the limit. And a foul is called.
Offensive foul on Nick Johnson.
.2 to go. And the ball goes back to Wisconsin.
Two chances for Arizona. The second one right here. Nick Johnson. And we'll have to get another look, Marvin. Looked like he pushed off with his left arm. But there's a lot of contact. He definitely pushes off. You could make the case that Gosser made contact first. Right there on a bump. That might be one you just let go and play on. But regardless, the official makes the gutsy call. And Wisconsin's defense just spectacular all game long. And now they're in position to close this game out.
Wisconsin has 2 timeouts remaining, so if they have some difficulty on the inbounds, they have those 2 timeouts to work with. Arizona, no timeouts left.
What a game. Just an amazing game. Sean Miller went to T.J. McConnell on that last possession. You see Johnson's reaction after the foul was called. McConnell had a great look just off the back iron. And Sean Miller, I think, did the right thing. Not calling timeout, letting his player of the year in the Pac-12, Nick Johnson, go one-on-one, but he gets the foul called. Now Wisconsin inbounded.
Sam Decker on the inbounds. Decker played by Gordon. Ball's deflected out. And they may look at it.
They'll definitely look at it. Bo Ryan just can't believe it. He's this close to his first Final Four. And now all of a sudden he's at the mercy of the replay monitor.
It appeared from this angle, and we were screened live, but it appeared that Hollis Jefferson got a piece of it.
Now the ball was awarded to Wisconsin, so there has to be indisputable proof otherwise for the officials to change this call. And I've seen it 4 times now. I can't tell. Sean Miller trying to get to his first Final Four. The 1 seed playing a de facto home game here in Anaheim. And you see the intensity. I think this ball is going to remain with Wisconsin. The officials still looking at it.
Officiating crew, Ryan Kersey, the crew chief, Tony Green, Mike Eads. All right, here's a slow down look at it.
The officials are looking at the same replays that we are. Or this might be a better look, or not. Gordon is kind of in the way. I just don't think they can overturn the call.
Combination of Jackson and Hollis Jefferson going for that deflection.
This is where you don't want to be a referee.
Is that the only reason?
That's one of many. You know, the instant replay rule, Marv, obviously put in place to protect the officials, to make sure they get it right, but oftentimes you still can't tell even with the replay. And because of that, I think you have to keep the call as it was made.
And a look at what officials they review in the final 2 minutes. All right, one more look. This looks like a photograph that is now beginning to move.
Well, it looks like Jefferson gets his hand on the ball right there, but does the right hand of Jackson touch the ball? Maybe even the left right there at the last second. The ball does change rotation right here. You see that change in the rotation? That very well may have been Trayvon Jackson's left hand, and that's what the officials are trying to determine. Boy, is that tough to see.
Now they'll huddle up. That is such a difficult call to make.
And the pressure on these guys, ironically enough, you know, the aid of the replay is supposed to help them. In this case, I think it hurts them.
Actually, crew chief Frank Kaminsky, the son of superb NBA referee Jess Kersey. We still await word.
Now one more look. Jefferson gets his hand on the ball there. You see the left hand of Trayvon Jackson, the last second right there, and the ball actually changes direction. You can tell by the rotation of the ball. And that would be the Arizona argument. The Wisconsin argument is, well, yeah, but is that really definitive? And needless to say, the officials having that same argument as we speak. And are we up on the 5-minute mark now about?
Well, they thought they had it, and someone said, hey, let's take another look, and that is just what they have done. So we get a second huddle of the officiating crew.
I think Sean Miller just said it's our ball. I think he just mouthed the words, it's our ball, and now, if that's the case, he's got the chance to draw up a side out of bounds play.
And that is the call. It is Arizona ball.
So now Sean Miller, does he take a timeout, or does he's already drawn up his play?
Ball changed direction. Brian Kersey just came over to tell us exactly what you said. So Arizona still alive, down by 1, 2.3 to go.
And look out for the lob, Marv, here for Hollis Jefferson or Gordon. And Nick Johnson also coming off the screen.
York inbounds. Here's Johnson. That is all over. Didn't get him off on time. All over. Wisconsin is headed to the Final Four. Bo Ryan will make his first trip to the Final Four. The Badgers win 13 of their final 15 games. They advance to the Final Four for the third time in school history.
And again, spectacular defense from Wisconsin. That's been the story of this game. The switch from Trayvon Jackson. I don't even think Nick Johnson got this shot off. No, he did not. Probably should have shot after one dribble. It's a tough shot for him going left. So far from the hoop. I thought maybe Arizona would try to throw a lob to the rim. But Wisconsin, an incredible game tonight, an amazing season, marches on. And for Bo Ryan, finally, his trip to the Final Four.
Shot was immediately waved off by two of the officials. Frank Kaminsky, number 44, there he is, 28 points, 11 rebounds. Trayvon Jackson with 10 points. Nick Johnson led Arizona with 16. Let's go to Craig.
Well, Coach, congratulations, and I must ask, was that the longest 2.3 seconds of your life?
Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, it may as well have been 8 lives, so I still have the one I'm working on. But how about these guys? How resilient were they? There it is, right there. Those guys in the red shirts did it, and I'm so proud of them.
Your entire life, you've been going to the Final Four with your father. A great moment for both of you. He recently passed away, but now you get to go. I see signs in the stands. They're remembering him as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to be there coaching without him. But I can't imagine him being any happier, or my mom, who passed away about a year ago. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I've been able to be on the sideline and do this thing called coaching, because my parents gave me the opportunity to pursue it. My wife, my kids, I can't thank them enough. And these guys, second family, you know how it is. But this is for Butch.
He'll be there in spirit. Congratulations. Let me find Frank Kaminsky. Frank, you've been so tough this entire tournament. You had over 20 points in the regulation, in the second half and overtime. How tough a battle was this? Every time, it looked like every possession to score.
We gave it everything we had. You know, we're all exhausted. You know, no one wanted us for us to go see it go into overtime, but it did. We fought through, we played with toughness, and we came down and we got to stop when we needed to.
What does this mean not only for you in the school, but also for Coach Ryan? 13 years in the NCAA tournament, his first Final Four.
We've talked about it for a long time. You know, ever since we won last game, they've been talking about getting Coach Ryan to his first Final Four. You know, we're so excited to do that for him. I'm honored to be a part of this team.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you in North Texas.
Thanks, Craig.
Murph.
All right, thank you, Craig. As you'd expect, emotional moments for Wisconsin head coach Bo Ryan. His dad, Butch, coached basketball to underprivileged children in their hometown of Chester, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. And then Bo went out to play point guard in high school, and he's making it to the Final Four in North Texas for the very first time, as Wisconsin will go up against the winner of Michigan and Kentucky. What a game in overtime. The Badgers over the Wildcats, 64-63. Thanks to producer Scott Cockerell, director Lonnie Dale, associate directors Billy Proctor, Sam Polis, graphics JP, Jeff Paris, and Jason Ingram, and our statisticians Paul Evans and Kelly Peters. Great job by the entire crew, as always. For Steve Kerr, Craig Sager, and the rest of the crew, Marv Albert saying so long from Anaheim.